Mikey Messamucci, are you guys following him? Mikey Messamucci, he's this wonderful grappler, but Joe Rogan threw an arm around him. Right? It used to be called the Oprah effect. You guys know about the Oprah effect, by the way? It's a very interesting book. Oprah didn't film. You see Oprah on each day at 4 o'clock, but she wasn't filming each day. She would go in months in advance and she'd film these shows. Edit them, put them out, do multiple shows in a day, take care of a week's worth in one day. It was just one of these situations. But if you went on Oprah, you were so guaranteed for success, people, investors, started getting tickets within the studio audience. They started taking notes and seeing who was doing what that's going to come out on Oprah. They go buy and invest in the company. They would be ahead of time. Person would finally come on when the show, and they would blow up. Shark Tank is having a very good effect like that. I have a buddy who's been on Shark Tank. He was doing a cheese chopper. But he's coming back this Friday. Ryan, I'm saying that for you. Tate will be on Shark Tank for the second time. Only got to be back a second time this Friday. But it's not just a cheese chopper. It's a complete pizza kit. But you get a real bounce from that. Okay. Joe Rogan did this for Mikey. And one of the things that Joe talked about Mikey the most, that Joe was most interested in, is that all that Mikey eats is pizza and pasta. He's got a two-pronged diet. And he's a skinny guy. And that is always interesting to people. Like, that will never go away. I remember when and it was to the point that Michael Phelps was grossly lying, but talking about what he eats in a day. And it was like a 14,000 calorie day because he's so tired swimming. And some of it was true. They just exaggerated to the point that it was 14,000. It was just insane. But it was interesting. Michael Phelps hasn't been on TV in how long? And I still remember this story. That's likely a story from the Olympic Games in 2012, but I still remember it. There's something about an athlete and what he eats. Like, there's something about that that's interesting. Michael Jordan only ate steaks. It was one of these, but then you had this massive meat movement. Then you had these that were plant-based. Then you had Nick Diaz, who was a vegan. But I mean, this stuff becomes interesting to people. So Joe was into the fact that Mike could be so unsafe and so skinny, eating nothing but pizza and pasta. Like, that was fascinating to him. But Mikey's also trying to explain to Joe, first off, I'm a teenager. I'm at the height of my metabolic rate. In addition, I train 2 and 3 times a day. Okay. Very similar to Michael Phelps. He needed a lot of calories. He burned a lot of calories. Great. Here we are. But people like that. This piece did really well online. Now, Mikey's in an interesting spot. He signed to one championship. I believe that one championship is going to become the leader in grappling. One championship has a production that is second to none. There are equals, possibly. Their production is insanely beautiful. So now when you can bring these stars in, regardless of the sport, you can get them national exposure. By example, Mikey is going to be on Amazon Prime for all of you to watch. It's an MMA card. But Chachery has committed to putting the pure grappling rules in the cage on Amazon Prime on the main card. This has just never happened before. Simple as that. Mikey got attention because he beat Eminari. He finished Eminari. But he also got a $50,000 bonus for doing that. Now, you guys are used to the bonus, fight of the night, things like this. But it's also going to grapplers. That'll change Mikey's life. And Mike is a knucklehead like the rest of the guys. That $50,000 has a pretty big dent in it. But if he's not a knucklehead, it will literally change his life. So where does one go with this? Because, see, I believe in this. I believe when you have the right production, you have the right things surrounding it, that's where you can gain exposure. I've seen this happen a number of times. I love to watch wrestling events, but every time I sit down to watch a wrestling event, I got to watch, like, the girls' band come out and play. Then I got to watch this gymnastics routine by the boys such and such organization. Stop! You promised wrestling. Put the match on the mat. But wrestling will always push back. I just use that as an example because now they can gain exposure for those other two ungodly boring events. And that part is true. I don't know why you're trying to build up the junior high band. I have the foggiest idea, but you did at least succeed at that. Like, that premise is real. We're doing a submission underground up here, guys. It's all grappling. All submission underground. But then we were going to do a match. It was going to be Bo Nickel versus Ben Askren. Best of 7 takedowns. The first one that gets 4 takedowns on the opponent wins. We all go home. No submissions, no guard game, no being on the mat. We're just going to do that. We're going to slip that in. The rumor got out that we were going to do that. My phone has never rang so much. I have never had, ever, people more interested in tickets, sponsors calling, looking to get behind this event, distribution, looking to sign up if I'd already done a rights buy with somebody. Ben Askren versus Bo Nickal in a takedown event. A takedown event. That might be interesting to you, but a takedown event at a grappling match. What? They loved it. Both guys agreed. Long story why we didn't host that event, but I'll just share with you, if one championship, MMA is huge right now. Amazon Prime is huge right now. And Chachery is signing pure grapplers. He's put Gary Tonin in fights, but Gary came over on a grappling contract, just so you understand. Gordon Ryan, by rumor, has already signed with one championship. By rumor, but pure grappling. I know that Gary did both. Pure grappling. And now you've got Mikey. And you have many others that are going to come, but you're now giving them a platform of Amazon Prime. You're going to put them in the cage. You're going to put them surrounded by stars in a packed arena. I mean, guys, we're going to find out one way or the other. I believe in grappling. I like grappling. I believe it has a place. Shorten the matches. We don't want to see you out there for 20 minutes. Conflict resolution. New categories, new weight classes, new ranking system, new belts. Same prize money. It's a very exciting proposition, and Mikey in many ways could lead this. If Mikey can stick with this and keep having success, he will become the first ever grappling world champion recognized by one championship. That never goes away. There's very few records, guys. Records come along, and the reason we keep records is so somebody else can come beat them. Give somebody else a drive and a motivation so that you can come take that from them. There are only a couple of records you can't ever take away. And being the first, that's one of them. It's a huge opportunity for Mikey. It frustrates me that Mikey's opponents continue to get set up by the matchmakers. Gordon Ryan seems to be the only one that understands rivalries work everywhere. Rivalries in football will fill up a 40,000 stadium. State. Don't interrupt me. Why is nobody calling out Mikey? You don't think you can call out a 19-year-old kid? You don't think you should go take on the guy that only eats pizza and pasta? You just go let him have all the prize money? Where are you guys at? Mikey's coming for a world championship. Mikey's signed. Mikey's going to Amazon Prime. Mikey needs opponents. Would you like that to be you? Because you don't have to do that behind closed doors. You have to get a hold of Chael and ask me to get a hold of Chachery for you. Go speak up. Got a Twitter account? Got a Facebook? Go speak up. Look how well it worked out for Gordon Ryan.